Highway 2000 is also known as Wangan Dead Heat. Wangan Dead Heat. Fuck my accent, seriously. This game is known as Wangan Dead Heat in Japan, so this had a release all over the world, just under different names. If you're looking for an arcade racer, you've come to the right place. I mean, you could do better, but is it a bad game? No. The game has your usual set of options: championship, time trials, 2-player, and the option mode itself. You have 3 cars to choose from, and there are 5 or 6 tracks to choose from, or to progress through depending on what mode you're playing. Natsumi were involved with making this game, and I was thinking of what other titles they did for the Saturn, and with a quick wiki search found that they did the incredibly dull Virtual Casino, and fuck, I was hoping this was going to be better than that. Surely it has to be, right? They tell me there's cutscenes in Wangan Dead Heat with illustrious banging hot Asian chicks, but you won't find that here. The FMVs you have here are shitty. Presentation is up to the task. The menu layout is acceptable, and in-game presentation gives us what we need and not much more. The design of the in-game presentation is pretty good, and I don't think it's dated too much. I mean, it has a little, but it's still pretty good. The car, when it's still at the start of the race, is a bit glitchy. Past that, the graphics here are pretty damn solid. Draw distance is pretty damn good, and it runs at a high frame rate. There's not much texture mapping and shading, but you know what, I'm not too fussed. It still looks pretty good. Sound is your typical 90s racer of its time. People would think that's dreadful, but I'd rather get naked and roll around in the 90s nostalgia. I would bathe in the sounds of this game. I mean, sure, I can say that the sound effects are apt, but it's the music that I really dig. It's not great by any stretch of the imagination, but you can easily put yourself back into the 90s in an arcade racing seat, and this would be playing. Gameplay is completely unrealistic. I can go into slide mode, which allows me to take corners very easily, which really adds a level of fun. Depending on how it's executed, my idea of fun is at the other end of the spectrum to realistic. There's a time and a place for racing sims, but give me arcade-type racing any day of the week. My main gripe with this game is the other drivers. They are total fuck faces. They always take the same route around the track, so in a few attempts you get the general gist of it, but I was finding that the cars were where I wanted to be. Always. And when you bounce off them, it's your car that always slows down. It pissed me off. Some people have been saying this game is hard, but that's certainly not due to any shitty controls. Talking about controls, it supports the steering wheel, but it doesn't support the 3D controllers, strangely enough. There is replay value here, which I get a little surprised by, well, any racing game really. Especially on the Saturn, because 9 out of 10 times you're usually dealing with an arcade port, which nearly always has very little added to it, and you only get face value. But once you've completed all the tracks, you get a night mode, which might not seem to add much, but it's a really nice addition. Would have been nice to see an extra track or 2 unlocked as well. Would I recommend this game? Yes. It certainly lacks polish of other Sega racing games, but it's enough fun to persist a serious playthrough. As always, thank you very much for watching. Click on the TV to see the last review, and click on the name underneath the television if you'd like to subscribe.